it's saving the cranker. Well, what does that mean? And this is important for everyone to understand. Some of the efforts that have happened up until this point were about saving the building. But saving the building doesn't save the pub. And what our legislation will do is protect the building forever, but not just the building, but we'll be protecting that building being a pub forever. But this community isn't just about the building, and it's not just about the beers. It's about what else also happens inside the pub. And that, of course, is the culture and the music. So the legislation that we are crafting isn't going to just save the building. It isn't just going to save the pub. It's also going to bestow upon the Crown and Anchor Hotel in that location an unfettered right to play live music forevermore. Now, to get to this point, it's actually taken a lot of hard work. It sounds simple when I say it like this, but we've actually been working really hard as a government ever since you started organising and started protesting. Lucy Hood here, who's the MP for Adelaide, has been in my ear, and we sat down with the developer and we started engaging with them. And what that legislation is going to do is actually going to bestow upon the developer an expedited development process to be able to develop next door without impinging upon the cranker in any way, shape or form. And as we started that engagement with WeHer, and I do want to thank them because they've actually made some concessions, some big concessions that cost them money, so I want to acknowledge them. But what we've been able to get an agreement on and discuss throughout this process has also brought to our attention the fact that there really isn't enough protections in our development code and our development regulations around what happens to culture and live music more broadly. So the other thing the legislation is going to do is also establish a new regime that says this: if you buy a building or if you buy a parcel of land and you want to develop it next to a pub that plays live music, well, guess what? That pub will continue to be able to operate and play live music. I think if you buy a house next to the airport, you can't exactly complain about the aircraft noise after the fact. The same should be true for pubs and live music. Now, why do we do this? Why do we choose to do this? Well, of course, because the arts and the music are about culture, and culture is about being human. The human experience is more than just looking at a bloody iPhone on a screen all the time. It's actually about engaging with one another, and that's something that this city has always done well and always should do well, and that's why we're excited to make this announcement today. While there is a catch, and
Here it is.
no, there's always a catch. No, it's only this. While the development is happening next door, there is a necessity to invest in soundproofing of the Crown and Anchor Hotel, particularly the music room out the back. That will mean there'll be a temporary period while construction is happening that the cranker will have to close while that construction is occurring, but it is temporary, and this temporary nature is legislated in the bill that we're introducing into the Parliament as well, which we've discussed with this group here. So it's all subject to the Parliament's approval, and I do acknowledge the Greens who have been advocating on this issue, and we look forward to working with them as we get that legislation through the Parliament. So Tammy and Rob, I thank you for your advocacy, and Sarah's here as well. But I hope that this is a bill that we can get through the Parliament in the next fortnight, so this can get on with and we can save the Cranker Hotel. And the final thing I'll say is this: to each and every one of you and your leadership, good on you. This is democracy in action. This is democracy at its best, so well done. Thanks a lot.